Hello, welcome to my YouTube channel. If you're here for the first time, please hit the subscribe button, turn on the notification bell so that each time we upload a new video, you're going to be notified about it. And if you're returning, welcome. It's your girl LozenNel. And a few days ago, I was talking about disobedience. I just want to briefly talk about the consequences of disobedience, and it is important that we know about this. Every action or step taken has consequences, whether good or bad. So if I plan to do something and I should have it in mind that this can bring me to this extent, it can bring me this, you need to first of all come to that conclusion before actually embarking on it. And if you step on a wrong foot or course, you reap what wrong results. You reap what wrong results. Disobedience has and carries critical consequences. When a parent sets rules, you must follow, especially right rules. And now I had to really make sure that I said right rules, because some parents can take you to the lagoon. I remember growing up and being a girl, and you have to be in home in a particular time, and you arrive later. Then the time just comes when you arrive later, you face the consequences of coming late. And these are set values in my life where I really can't stay out late, because it has grown in me to always get home at a particular time. So the consequences of disobedience will bring you, first of all, it will set you at a point where you're not at ease. It removes you from peace, removes you from the essence of peace, and brings you some kind of fear, and that is not beautiful. Every child loved of a father must receive chastisement. It is an act of love. So if you see a father, the Bible says, spare the rod, spoil the child. So if you see a father who does not beat the child, he does not love that child. Before you engage in any action, you need to be aware that you will face the consequences of whatever you're doing. You may feel that because I went into fornication, it's just fornication. You don't know that there are other things that are going behind. You may think that I stole something, and then the person will not feel it. Probably you took somebody's $1 out of 10,000. You think that the person will not notice or so, but there are consequences to your own life, and which you need to know about them. There are consequences to every action that you take, whether good or bad, and so you should have that in mind. Okay. Many times we become tempted when we are dragged by our own evil desires. Most of the times we fall into the spirit of disobedience, because we want to, we based on our desires, our urges, we disobey because let me just feel this little feeling, let me just dwell on it, let me develop on it. If you have to follow the feelings that you have in your heart, and your heart races all the time, I tell you seriously, you will never be able to progress in life. Sometimes you have a goal, you have a plan, you have a vision of a thing, of a business plan you want to do, and your desires will, sometimes your urges and your desires can tell you that this thing can't work. And you may have set for yourself those plans, those patterns where you need to follow, to be disciplined to do those things, and somehow, somewhere, you fail to do them, you disobey them, you go against them. So at this particular time I need to be doing this, and you disobey them by yourself. That's beyond it. We need to be able to follow and follow those rules that we have set for ourselves. Some people will say, oh, I came out full, nothing happened to me. Something happened. You may not really know that it happened, but something happened to you. Say you went into sin and you came out, you feel like you came out full. You didn't come out full. Something went out of you. Something happened to you. You may not see it physically, but something left you that you will take another time again for you to build it again. Especially when it comes to fornication. I feel like Scripture will always emphasize this aspect, because this is the sin that is against your own body. You're killing your body. And so you think that you just had it and then it just went off. But a lot of things have been, a lot of spirits have been mixed, you have soulmate yourself with a lot of people, and at the end of the day, that's facing trials and all of that. I feel like I'm laboring on this too much. You may be stuck in a roller coaster. You don't have freedom, and an opportunity comes that will give you the comfort you have been seeking. Yet the situation is against your norms and the standards of life. Um, it will take the grace of God for you to be able to get off that kind of situation. Say, like in the situation of Saul, Saul had the throne and he had to act as the king, not the priest. He's not supposed to go and offer sacrifices. But there was a situation in 1 Samuel chapter 15, verse 22, where he was being influenced. There was a push where he was being pushed by pressure from around, and so he had to make a sacrifice that was not in his position to do. And he knew very well, based on his capacity, there are things he's not supposed to do. Play the part of a priest as the king, and he went into that office and dwelt in it, and then God had to remove him from the throne based on pressure. I don't know the kind of pressure that you're going through, but it should not be as a road map for you to act wrong. Vashti lost her throne because she refused to obey her husband's command. When I read that story of Vashti, let me not go to the side of Esther, but I see a woman who was proud and who was disobedient. What would it have taken for her to just stand in front and showcase what herself? Like I would literally come out there because I know how beautiful I am. So, but what really happened was just the spirit of disobedience. Like, and the council said, if you don't act on this, they spoke to the king and said, if you don't act on this, many other women will disobey their husbands like this. And if that was not really acted on it, many women will disobey their husbands. The husband will tell you to do something. The Bible says, submit yourselves, women. We need to submit ourselves to our husbands. Husbands, very important. So if she could not do that, it was really right for her to leave the throne. And it will be a very bad thing for you to for God to have an opportunity to dethrone you. And in the case of disobedience, that will be the best point where God will pick out to dethrone you. And Vashti was so disobedient, so to a point where I really am imagining what would it have taken for her to just stand in front or just come and show herself. It's like, come and greet. It's like, it's more like your friend, her husband brings the friend home and it's like, okay, come, let me talk, come and see my friends, and you're like, I'm not coming. What is this? So I feel like it is right for us to not be disobedient, because the consequences of it is really disastrous. Times become hard, I know that, but we need to trust God. But put your trust in God, because you will feel like, okay, maybe I'm obeying him, I'm doing all of this, and what is happening to me there? But time will change a lot of things. Though he slay me, Job chapter 13 verse 15 says, though he slay me, yet will I hope in him. I will surely defend my ways to his face. You may be going through a lot of trials. Maybe you are in a tight situation, and the results coming to you are influencing you to the wrong direction. Make sure not to falter. Make sure not to fail. Maybe somebody is trying to influence you to do something which is against the will of God, against God's plan for your life. Make sure not to falter. Make sure not to fail, because God is watching you. Disobedience will bring you to nothing. It will take you from a high throne and bring you to nothing. Saul was an example. Vashti was an example. And so let's obey. Follow Christ. Follow your own principles. Maybe you've set principles for your business plan. You want to do some things. You want to build your spiritual life. Set those goals. Follow them. Don't disobey them. See it as your own self giving yourself command. I hope this is a blessing to you. Have a wonderful week ahead, and God bless you.